Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another Prehistoric Planet video. Today, we are going to be reviewing the third episode of Prehistoric Planet 2. So, let's get right on into it. Episode 3, Swamps. The episode begins in the vast swamplands of Northeast Asia. We can see some islands formed from flooding. We then see a young pterosaur learn how to take off. The island that the pterosaur calls home doesn't have enough food for it, and the pterosaur will have to find a new location. The pterosaurs all meet together, and one at a time try to take flight over the water. One pterosaur takes flight over the water, but it doesn't get enough height, and the breeze isn't enough to help it stay in the air for long. It falls into the water and tries to swim away, but then it is eaten by a Shamosuchus, which is a large crocodilian. Some more pterosaurs fly over and fail, but some succeed in evading the Shamosuchus. The last one takes off and falls into the water, but it manages to swim away from the Shamosuchus. We then see gars in a river being caught by some really neat looking osteoraptors. The feathers and the coloring make the animal look really cool, and it is one of my favorite designs. We learn its teeth are like crocodile teeth and help them in catching fish. Normally the osteoraptors would be hunting alone, but the fish population increases, so more are drawn to the river. We also learn that they don't tolerate rivals, and aren't willing to share food. We see a young male osteoraptor attempt to catch fish, but he decides to try to scavenge any fish that the others left behind. He is caught by a larger male and is scared off. We then see two adult osteoraptors fighting over a fishing spot. The young male returns and sees this as an opportunity. He ends up grabbing a fish before the adults come back and runs away with it. In Madagascar, we can see water spreading throughout the dry land. We see a Machikosaurus drink from the water, but it encounters a Beelzebufo and runs away. The Beelzebufo jumps into the water and makes a deep croaking sound. This sound is used to try to attract female Beelzebufos. However, instead of another Beelzebufo, a herd of Repeatosaurus show up. These sauropods are here for a mud bath, but the Beelzebufo isn't too happy about this. After doing a little somersault, he goes to a different pool of water to continue making the deep croaking noises. However, one sauropod notices him and gets a little too close. The Beelzebufo becomes angry and snaps at the sauropod. Eventually, the herd leaves, and the Beelzebufo can get back to trying to find a mate. We see an inland basin in North America. This used to be filled with water, but has become dry. However, we learn that some dinosaurs still occupy this area, such as Pachycephalosaurus. The Pachys typically like to eat fruit and leaves, but since none are around, they have to eat insects. We can see a male knocking over a dead tree with its head, which is a really cool detail. The herd is led by a large male, who has some really cool red and green coloring. A younger male attempts to take on the alpha. They headbutt, and the leader is taken down, but quickly recovers and knocks down the younger male and banishes him from the herd. After the Pachycephalosaurus conflict, we transition to a swampy environment that is occupied by Edmontosaurus, Triceratops, and a pair of Tyrannosaurs. The Tyrannosaurus don't decide to attack during the day, but when it becomes night, the odds are in their favor. We can see them moving through the forest silently, and then they see a group of Edmontosaurus eating some foliage. The two Tyrannosaurs move into position and ambush the group. One T-Rex chases an individual right into the other Tyrannosaur, and together they take it down and begin to feast. The episode ends with the victorious Tyrannosaurs eating from the fallen Edmontosaurus, and an overhead shot of the swamp. In the Prehistoric Planet Uncovered section, we can see Dr. Suzabana Maidament and Professor Paul Barrett, I do apologize if I'm saying those names wrong, discuss whether or not Pachycephalosaurus used their 10-inch thick dome heads for combat. It turns out that inside the dome were a bunch of tiny fibers that made the dome more colorful, and in 2013 it was discovered that Pachycephalosaurus used domed heads for combat. And that was episode 3 of Prehistoric Planet 2. I really enjoyed this episode, and I thought the animals in the episode were all really cool. The Osteoraptor has become one of my favorite designs in the show, and the colorful Pachycephalosaurus are really cool to look at. And the scene where they fight is really cool. So, that is going to have to wrap up this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to press the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!